Anyway, this is food shops.
What did Laura Loomer mean by this? Alligator lives matter. The good thing is, alligator. You did your best with thinking. Alligators are guaranteed at least 65 million meals if they start now.
Yeah,
Hispanics and
so
Latino Americans are
for
not
those
so.
of you that don't know, I said this on stream yesterday. But the United States government and the in collaboration with, well, I mean, the president of the United States in collaboration with a local municipality in Florida is currently, they are building a concentration camp. They're calling it Alligator Alcatraz. Okay, alligator because it's in Florida. Now, I also talked about this on stream yesterday, I believe. But white people, white racist, I should say, I should clarify. White supremacists for a long time in this country have had a fascination with feeding people of color to alligators. Or like people of color getting eaten by alligators. That is like a, unfortunately, as disgusting as it is, that is a common, like trope among white supremacists. I don't even know what the fuck to call it. Like, they be fantasizing about feeding people of color to alligators. Okay, it's like as weird as it sounds. Okay, I don't know. You can't make this shit up.
American background, culture, or family origin.
But that's what Laura Loomer was talking
Estimated
about. She was
65
saying,
million.
the alligators were gonna feed all of the Mexicans, all of the Latinx Americans to or Latin Americans to the alligators, the ones that are in the United States. When she said 65 million, she was specifically talking about Latinx people in the United States. She was not talking about any other group, any other group in America. Like she wasn't talking about illegals. Okay, she was talking about just literally just Latinx people. They're just openly saying that they want to kill all brown people is basically what I'm getting at. That's what Laura Loomer is saying here. I mean, how else do you interpret it? I know that what I'm saying, it sounds really extreme. It is really extreme. It is very extreme racism. But how else do you interpret it? She said the good news is alligators are guaranteed at least 65 million meals if we get started now. That is disgusting. That is so awful. What the fuck are you... She's talking about feeding innocent people to alligators like a joke. Like it's a joke. Like it's just, oh, it's just a joke, bro. It's just a joke. She's just joking. She's joking about feeding an entire ethnic group to alligators, which white supremacists in the past have also joked about that. Have also made like little fucking illustrations and cartoons about it. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Let's just keep listening.
Um,
What does Food Shops have to say about this?
Fuck.
Let's find out.
So immigrants equals alligators? Oh, dude, they know exactly what I'm want. Pixelated games. This has to do with the new Ice Camp Alligator Alcatraz. Yeah, I've seen it. Seen that. I have family and friends who voted for Trump who have stopped watching politics because of how bad things have gotten. Like, yo, why did you pick the movie? You can't just leave the rest of us to watch it alone. That is so true. Dude, this person's spitting. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, and I've noticed they are doing that. Okay, most of the like MAGA Republicans that I talk to on a regular basis, and I am a leftist, so there may be like only a certain type of like Republicans that I am consistently able to talk to, because like a lot of them want to like kill me or whatever, or like jail me or something, imprison me. I don't know, to get me deported. What I'm saying is like most MAGA chuds, Republic, whatever you want to call them, most of them won't like talk to me consistently. But the ones that do, they don't want to talk about politics. They really don't want to talk about politics with me. They're like, yeah, I voted for Trump because like trans people, or because mostly the economy. Okay, most of them say the economy. And anyway, now they're like, I just like I don't really want to like pay attention to it anymore. I'm just tired of all of it. I'm just so tired of it. Like dude, you did this. You are the reason that this is happening. If you voted for him, you are partly responsible. You are culpable. Okay, you are equally as culpable for this as the Germans in Nazi Germany that voted for Hitler were in Nazi Germany. Okay, they were culpable for what followed when Hitler got elected. So pay attention and understand that this is your fault. Okay, I hope you do feel bad about it. I hope you do feel guilty. Fuck you.
Plaintiff Abrigo Garcia and 20 other Salvadorans were forced to kneel from approximately 9 p.m. to 6 a.m., with guards striking anyone who fell from exhaustion. During this time, plaintiff Abrigo Garcia was denied bathroom access and soiled himself. Holy shit. Wow. Destiny's wrong about Biden's biggest mistake. The single most important decision that Biden made during his tenure was who to select for AG. And he chose a centrist who tiptoed around Trump's crimes out of some weird need to apologize for Garland not being confirmed to the Supreme Court. It was very clear that Garland's team was hoping that Trump would simply just go away and that they wouldn't have to do the hard thing of prosecuting an ex-president for attempting to criminally install themselves as president after losing an election. An absolutely monumental failure.
What did Destiny say was his worst mistake? What?
Keep calling your reps. The one big.
I don't know if that was his worst mistake. I mean, there were a lot of mistakes, but it's definitely up there. The Attorney General pick is probably like top 5 or even top 3. Yeah. It could be number 1. I don't know. I'd have to give it more. I haven't really thought about it that much, to be honest. Like ranking it. I haven't in my head. I haven't really ranked Biden's fuck ups.
The few times Zoomers and Millennials agree on something. Boomers, weak men create hard times. Millennials and Zoomers, you're the weak men who created the hard times. True. Caho. I'll be voting third party, but it's true either Kamala or Trump wins. I have slight preference for a Trump victory. This last year of genocide amid near total public indifference has broken something in me. At least him being there would wake some people up to the horror after election. $1.2 trillion in Medicaid and food stamp cuts when we're already in a recession in the most heavily armed country on earth. At some point, these people are going to learn what touching a hot stove looks like. I don't know, man, Sean. Fuck around and find out it's true. That's all as fuck.
And she says nothing about the genocide thing, of course.
Oh, like trying to denaturalize Mamdani. Alaska vote for it, so they
racism.
Really?
More racism. Dude, Mamdani is literally a fucking citizen. They're literally talking about denaturalizing him because of his policies. Because of his policy agenda. Which includes freezing rent, building government-run grocery stores, what else? There's other shit, too. Oh, yeah, taxing the rich. Yep. Mamdani, back to your home country, which is not America. Goodbye. Nope, can't have that. No taxing the rich.
60 minutes.
No, you can't do that. No.
This is some Night City ass shit, okay? This is literally some Night City ass shit. On God. Okay? Hold on. Oh, very nice. Lol. This video cannot be played, don't care. They did the meme. Stop sending billions to Ukraine so we can take care of our own. I'm starving. Fuck off. Are you living 2077? Yes, I fucking... The game is goated, okay? The atmosphere is goated, alright? Okay, what is this?
Lord to get starving to death, Lord to get food, murdered in the process.
What on earth can we do to get coverage like that?
Oh, people were given a ton of great examples earlier. What you need to do is you have to declare like Trump freedom zones in all of the occupied territory, and then you have to promise to build giant Trump like gold statues. And then every time you guys like go into combat, you should have like Trump pins on you, because if Trump sees like his shit getting blown up, it would motivate him to actually care and go and do something. I think it's you got to appeal to Trump's narcissism in every single conceivable way.
True.
Well, that's
Very
interesting plan for Trump and MAGA guys, but how in the actual Do we get like 1% of
Yeah,
the
it's a stupid fucking idea. It's a stupid fucking idea. The idea that what Ukraine should do is like kiss ass to Trump to survive. It's just not gonna work. Okay, it's just not. They're fucked either way. They're fucked. Like, Trump is in office. Biden did not cut a deal. That's why this is happening. Okay, I blame Biden for. Of course, I blame Biden for the Ukraine shit. Okay, not only did the invasion start under Biden, but they could have ended it. They could have ended it a long time ago. They could have cut a deal, but they were like, no, like our country is making too much money off of this. We're selling too many weapons, and we're weakening Russia. So that's why. But no, Ukraine it's so over. It's so over, dude. Like I think I don't know what's gonna happen. I am for Ukraine. I am afraid, and I pray for them because I don't know. I don't like being pessimistic. I don't want to be pessimistic. I think that I'm being realistic when I say that it is a possibility that like total annexation occurs. Like I think that Trump is basically just like, I don't really give a fuck. Like, I want the minerals. I want the minerals. We got the mineral deal, which is you know, I guess better for the sovereignty of Ukraine, but not really in the long run, okay? Because like even when their status as a sovereign nation is secured, they are going to be beholden to that mineral deal, which is going to ravage their economy, I think. Me personally. But anyway, let's
drama this guy just put out talking about Gaza. Bro just called it Holocaust and all the other things. I can get a concessions from people in the West that there is an intent in Russia. I can't get a concession about the abduction of children, about the
To be very fair, okay. To be very fair, I think people have been talking about how Russia is on the brink of economic collapse, right? Like, I'm pretty sure people have been talking about that recently. I've been watching some videos about it, I guess. I mean, make as you will. It's the best I could do.
It's not.
But
they're not on. They're
Russia
not.
is not doing so hot right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're not doing great. I would say that they were at a weaker starting point than our country was, and they've certainly taken a downturn in recent years, but not like our country has, okay? Our country has had a sharp and steep decline over the past few decades, and Russia has not, okay? They have been, relative to our country, relatively stable, I would argue. But again, they're like starting point. They did not have as good of a starting point if we were to like go back to 1991 at the fall of the USSR. That's what I'm calling the starting point, okay, because that's when they became like capitalist or whatever. That's when they started doing capitalism. Unfortunately, their like transition into capitalism was really bad, like really dumb and terrible. And what ended up happening is a few guys ended up consolidating wealth, and now they're like the country is run by a few oligarchs, huh? How did that happen? That's so crazy. That's so crazy. They did attempt to they attempted an equitable transfer of capital to the people. So what they did was, since all of the business and commerce was government owned, they gave all of the citizens in Russia, in the Russian Federation, stocks in the companies. So so all the companies were owned by the people. But what started happening is a few guys figured out that it was a great idea to just buy up all of these stocks from people that didn't know any better, that didn't understand the value that they were holding. And so a few guys ended up owning all the companies. Crazy, I know. People would trade their stocks for things like rations, food, bread. Okay, like, that's what happened. But yeah, anyway, Russia has been doing okay. I think that the war has been pretty devastating for them. But Putin doesn't give a fuck, and that's it. Like, it's just gonna keep going. Okay. And honestly, like what I said about total annexation, it's just not outside of the realm of possibility. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I hope that it doesn't. I really, really hope that it doesn't. Just because I don't know what America will do to stop them. I don't want to know what America would do to stop them. I don't know. I think it's unlikely that we'll get in a direct conflict with them. But, like, at this point, I don't see how we're going to stop annexation without that happening. Ukraine will keep fighting, but, like, it's just a much smaller country. Like, they don't have the numbers. Okay? Russia can keep throwing people at them. Anyway, let's keep.
You've been used as a weapon of war, which everyone conceded to. UN, like literally Human Rights Watch, everyone. I can't get anything. I spoke with people just yesterday about the prohibition of Ukrainian language officially in occupied territories. No reaction.
I mean, the nature of the conflict is just, Ukraine West bad, so no one cares. Palestinians anti-West good, so everybody cares. It's stupid as fuck, but that's where we're politically right now.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, maybe there's a way, like, to somehow change that.
No.
Yeah, I know.
The president conspired to remove Jewish board member and replace her with the Arab and text obtained by Congress. That's unhinged. Okay, Colombia is I don't even know what the fuck is going on with Colombia these days. Okay, they've lost it. Okay, this is too long. Thank you, Trump. Too long, didn't read. Okay, something just happened on stream that I have to.
I haven't heard that story. I would like to read about it. I think anti-Semitism is disgusting. I think it's disgusting. I also think that a lot of people, especially in these issues centered around universities, a lot of people are quick to drop that, like, anti-Semite accusation. Oh, you were trying to remove a Jew from the board, you piece of shit. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that's what she was doing. If she was trying to remove a Jewish person because they're Jewish. I don't know. Like I said, I would have to read into it. But what I do know is that there's a lot of, like, anti-Semite accusations going around that are illegitimate, okay, from traditionally reputable institutions like the ADL, yada yada.
Responded. We're not going to lower these prices soon, right? I don't think how impressive Alligator Alcatraz is. Benny Johnson. The state of Florida built this 3,000-bed federal prison in 8 days. The director told me it could have been done in 72 hours were it not for some regulatory holdups. Now all the state needs is DOJ approval to deputize the National Guard as deportation judges. What, like Judge Dredd? And this will become the most efficient deportation center in American history. Oh, Alcatraz is a new death camp. Alcatraz is the new Auschwitz. That's just great. I guess work really does set us free. Bernie Sanders calls the Republican Party a Stalinist cult. Uh-oh. Base Bernie alert. Don't let them fool you about anti-Semitism.
A Stalinist cult. I get what he's saying. I disagree with it. I disagree with it in, like, just because, like, no, it's not like Trump is not, he's nothing like Stalin. He's nothing like Stalin. First of all, he's smarter than Stalin. He's, like, physically weaker than Stalin. He has less resolve than Stalin. He has less discipline than Stalin. Like, Stalin was just a much different person. And obviously, Trump is like Mr. Capitalism. He's like, he loves fucking capitalism. Okay, like that's like his thing. He owns a bunch of businesses, a bunch of failing businesses. Okay, also, Trump has a rabid fan base, and don't get me wrong, Stalin had a rabid fan base as well, but it was different. Okay, I think that like people that are MAGA people, I think they do it out of their more so out of their will to just like love, like they just want to love Trump. Like people in communist Russia during the purges, during the very scary times, like people praised Stalin because they were afraid of execution. Okay. On the other hand, people are like fans of Trump, they're MAGA, because they are racist, because they are homophobic, because they're transphobic, or they're like they endorse some kind of bigotry. Okay, they're bigoted in some way. That's why people love Trump. Okay, because Daddy Trump wants to deport the illegals and make America straight again, and make America cis again, or what the fuck ever. I don't know. Make America white again.
Bernie Sanders calls the Republican Party a Stalinist cult. Uh-oh. Base Bernie alert. Don't let them fool you about anti-Semitism. I've lived in a Muslim and anti-Semitism in Israel. I mean, just look at Toronto's. This guy is probably...
Wait, what?
Uh-oh. Base Bernie alert. Don't let them fool you about anti-Semitism.
People that are unsure about how much anti-Semitism that's present currently. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. This person says, he's a Muslim growing up, Muslim family all my life with Muslim friends, became an atheist during my teens, anti-Semitism is real, blah, 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 blah. Vile things about Jews. Yes, anti-Semitism is on the rise. I agree with that. When I hear, like legacy Democrats say shit like that, I think they're saying it for the wrong reasons, but... yeah, I agree. I think that anti-Semitism is on the rise, not just here, but all over the world, especially in the Middle East. I wonder why that is. I don't know. That's a real head scratcher. I don't know. It could be for any reason. Could be for any reason. Certainly not because of, America's greatest ally. America's greatest ally that must defend itself. That must drop bombs of peace on Iran. They must do it.
This guy is probably unironically anti-Semitic.
Iran is all mountains, so it's very easy for the Iranians to shoot down the airplane.
Did she just say this person is probably unironically anti-Semitic? This guy is probably what, because he was Muslim? Is that why?
I mean, just look at Toronto's. This guy is probably unironically anti-Semitic.
Iran is all mountains, so it's very easy for the Iranians to shoot down the airplane. Does that make sense? When you pass through mountains, you can't see what's on the ground.
What?
A random guy with a rocket launcher, and you shoot down the helicopter, okay?
What? Order! We lost a whole squadron of F-35s! What happened, sir? They got him, sir, from the ground on the camelbacks! The camel riding!
Yo, this editing is goated. Who the fuck edited this? It can't have been August. August does not edit this well. I'm sorry, August does not edit this well. Okay?
The camel riders with the recoilless rocket launcher, they got all of our F-35s!
Which is what the Afghans did against the Soviets in the Afghanistan war. A drone can take out any airplanes, okay? So, in other words...
Depends on the plane.
I'm getting trolled! I am getting trolled! This is a troll! I'm getting trolled right now! This is the guy that's he's gonna be on Joe Rogan. You want some geopolitics predictions? Within...
That guy, the guy in this video, I know for a fact, he's... The problem is that he's right about the Russians in Afghanistan, in Kabul. Planes were shot down with RPGs. Now, it's possible if the plane moves slow enough to time it correctly. If you're really good at shooting RPGs. But, yes, it is possible. Okay, it is. And it did happen, okay? There were documented cases of this happening. Now, does it happen today? No, not really, because planes, first of all, they fly faster. They can change altitude faster. It's just like, it's impossible to shoot them with an RPG, basically. It's like, you can't be done. It can't be done. The maneuvers they're too... The planes are too maneuverable now if that makes sense. Anyway.
1 year, within 6 months, this guy will be on Joe Rogan, he will be on Lex Friedman, and he will be on Piers Morgan in a one-on-one interview, not a debate.
True. Anything else at the pit? The GOP has something to say about kicking 17 million Americans off their health care. We're all going to die. They'll get over it. It's immaterial. I feel great. True. Thank you, Democrats. Twitter account. Very base. Have you called your House representatives yet, Jack?
I want to just start with the quickly blame Democrats as well. Okay, and you might be wondering, what do you mean? They don't have the majority. They all voted no on this bill. You're right about that. But notice how Republicans managed to pass this bill in the Senate through reconciliation, meaning all they needed was a simple majority vote to get this passed. Interesting how the parliamentarian isn't really much of a problem. Like, there were whispers last week about how the parliamentarian is going to strike down.
Who was the Republican representative that, like, ran out of the bill? Like, he went in and voted no on the big, beautiful bill, and then he immediately, like, ran out of the building, like, scared. He voted no on it, and then ran out of the building, presumably fearing for his life. I don't know. I don't know. That shit's crazy. That is crazy. I want to know why he did that. I want to know first of all, why did he vote no? I want to know that. And because he's a Republican, okay, and it's the big beautiful bill. And secondly, why did he run? Like, why was he scared? What was going on there? Let's find out. Republican rep votes no on big beautiful bill and runs out of house. It was Brian Fitzpatrick. That's right. This is this motherfucker. Yeah, most unsurprising thing ever. He was one of 2 Republicans. Okay. I thought 2 of them voted no. Making himself unreachable thereafter. Yeah, they called it a smart move when he ran out of the building. They said, yeah, that was smart. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Crazy.
Down this provision and that provision. What happened? What happened? They're cutting even more from Medicaid.
Yeah, and
Can you
TYT has always been the hate Democrats show, okay? All they have created are people who hate Democrats, okay? People who hate political power, people who hate political change, people who don't actually want to achieve
No. Wrong. Wrong. Food shops, wrong. Once again. Okay, look, TYT is pretty anti-Democrat. Okay, we don't like Democrats over here on the left. We don't like Democrats because they don't change. Look, if a vote for a Democrat is a vote in the garbage because they don't change anything. It's business as usual. That's the point. That's the point. A vote for a Democrat is a vote for business as usual. Always. That's why I say it's a one-party system. Ugh, this B word. Don't. Come on, bro. we don't do that, okay? We don't do that, bro. That's a bad look. Okay, the J-Star community, we must reach far and wide across the galaxy. I can't call the woman that says that. Yeah, well, yeah, that I can't argue that, actually. That's a solid point. I would say, I will argue, I will say that no matter what, calling a woman a bitch is a bad thing. Okay, that I know that's a controversial take from me, but calling women bitches is bad, even when they are vile, racist people. Calling someone a N-word is also a bad thing. Technically, she hasn't. I don't think she's called anyone in particular the N-word, and she makes a point of that, actually. I'm not saying it's not racism. It is still racist. It's wrong, in my opinion. Actually, not my opinion. I keep saying that, in my opinion, when it's just, like, fucking facts, okay? But, like, I don't know. Like, it almost feels like any statement at this point is an opinion. She shouldn't say it at all. Yeah, agreed. And, like, yeah, that's pretty much it. But anyway, calling women bitches, still naughty, still bad. I'm finger wagging you. I'm liberal finger wagging you. Non-black people hate being told what to do. Yeah. Well, no, I mean, black people nobody likes being told what to do, I don't think. But white people in particular, they just don't want to be told to, and I know she's East Asian, okay, but like white people, generally white people don't like being told, you know, you can't say the N-word or whatever. It's like for some reason, it's a fucking problem. Should I say cunt then? Cunt is, so cunt is different, and I am actually more okay with that word because, it's like even more offensive than bitch, but like by default. It's like the default is more, so like bitch isn't really that offensive unless you're calling a woman a bitch. Okay, but cunt is just offensive no matter what. So yeah, I think it's better. I like that better. But bitch is a female dog. I mean, yeah, I know that. I don't know. You Americans made it a slur? You're American, bro. What the fuck? You Americans. What the fuck are you talking about? You're allegedly American. Yeah, but I don't think bitch is really a slur. I mean, I guess it is. Kinda. Yeah, I mean, it's a slur. It's a slur. I'll give you that. I'm from England, mate. Yeah, you're from England? Okay. Okay, you're British. Bottle of water. Is that actually where you're from? Did you immigrate here? Why? Why did you come? Why would you do that? I mean, Great Britain ain't that great either. No pun intended. I am. Black people live in England. I know there are black people in England. I know that. Do you know how racist the UK is? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm very familiar. Yeah. I wouldn't say they're more racist than America. But yeah, they get pretty racist with it. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say they're like equally as racist, but like they're racist in different ways. They were Islamophobic before America was even. They were like more like pre 9/11. They were more Islamophobic. They consider Meghan Markle too dark. No, bro, they are way worse. You are considered white there. LOL. You're considered non-white there. LOL. Yeah, I know. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I do. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say because like, are we measuring racism by just like how racist their ideas are in their head, or are we measuring racism by like impact, by like scale? Because depending on which answer, it's still debatable. But if you were to say like the true racism is the impact on people's lives, then America has them beat 10 times over. They don't get that much sun, so pale is like perfection compared to America, where you could be tan and still be loved. Yeah, I mean, it's very gloomy weather there. I actually, look, unpopular opinion, but I like the weather in England, okay? I think it's chill. That's the best part about England. is the shitty weather. That's what I like about it. It's got it has the weather gives it a nice kind of vibe. I like the weather in England. I don't like the everything else about England. Like the weather is probably the one thing that I do like. I love it too, but do you know how much shit Prince Harry got when he married Meghan? And the woman is almost white passing. I do recall that. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Prince Harry marrying that woman. People went pretty gaga over it. People liked it. It was definitely like a fringe thing to like get all racist with the Prince Harry Meghan marriage situation. But yeah, that's not like normal racism there. That's like kind of niche racism. I mean, it's the royal family. Like they can do no wrong. It's the monarchy. That's why I ask you about your kids dating outside their race. You may not have an issue with, but your kids will be subjected to racism. Oh yeah, I get that. But that goes back to like the same old, like, yeah, you want to protect your children. You want to protect your children from harm, from evil. But like we live in a world with evil and harm. So the best thing is to just educate them and make them understand like what other people think, why they think it, and they can navigate the world with your guidance, as their parent. But it's the same thing with like your kid being gay. Okay, like I know people be homophobic. That doesn't mean that I would like want my kid to like hide their gayness. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, here we go.
Day on Twitter and on their little gay ass shows.
She's just browsing the Destiny subreddit right now.
Mike from PA every few days for some reason. True.
Individuals across the state of Illinois.
What the fuck? I haven't dropped any frames. I don't know why it's fucked up. Hold up.
Hundreds of thousands of...
Okay, too soft. Go for it. New study shows steep funding cuts of USAID could lead to more than 14 million additional deaths by 2030. Study showed USAID prevented 91 million deaths. Wow. GG. It's over. Miles may say, is there anything else IP network show up on the website? Okay. Check just over the license I just posted. Okay. House taking key vote on Trump's big beautiful bills. GOP holdouts threaten final passage. Didn't BBB pass? Didn't Big Black Butts pass?
Tell the difference between what makes you uncomfortable.
Yes, it did.
So the CIA manual for simple.
Listen, in the limited social interactions that I have,
it was pretty big news.
And you don't have to. Listen, you don't have to listen to me if you don't want to, okay?
I guess it did.
The number one socialization skill that I think everybody could work on, the number one thing that I see lacking in almost every single social interaction, when I'm watching people interact with each other, when I'm interacting with groups of friends, or when I'm watching people talk to each other, is if you can have in your mind a concept of the person you are interacting with, and if you can think about the things that they care about, or needs or desires that they have, or concerns that they might have, if you can keep those in mind, and if you can find a way to incorporate those needs into your actions, socially you will be ahead of 98% of people when it comes to socialization. Whether it means you're trying to hit on somebody, or whether you're trying to just like make a friend or whatever. That it's a small thing, but if you can do it and signal it to somebody, it will just put you like unbelievably ahead of.
That's so crazy.
Wow. Skill I think you can work on.
Wow, what a big brain thought.
There you go.
Yo, like listening to other people and like and processing what they're saying and responding to it, and like also being nice to them and cordial will make them your friend. That's what a crazy idea, dude. I don't get this country. Was the evidence thrown at him not hard enough? How is he not in jail for the shit he has done? Who are we talking about? Donald Trump? Donald Trump, he's not in jail because he's rich. Oh, Destiny? Oh, well, you see, the way it works the way it works is that in order for a case to be viable, you need a district attorney to build the case. Obviously, okay, it's their job to do it. If the district attorney gets the evidence, they receive the evidence, and they say, this case probably isn't going to go anywhere, like, there's a lack of evidence, there's a lack of evidence, or it's, like, too circumstantial, or something, that's typically how it goes, then they won't do it. They just won't press charges, no warrant will be issued. That's how it works, okay? And with a high-profile person like Destiny, you know, I'm guessing that the evidence was presented to a district attorney, and they just decided that, you know, it's not a viable case, and that's it. But that's what we have civil suits for. Okay, so Destiny can still be held accountable by a court of law. He just won't go to jail for it. In theory, it is potentially possible that a district attorney might reconsider pressing charges on him. Well, all right, hold on. I'll read that in a second. I haven't read it. Destiny may, like, be prosecuted if he, like, loses in this civil trial, or if it goes to trial. I don't know. He probably won't settle. I don't think he will. Have you seen that viral clip of that young person being raped by Israelis men? No, I haven't seen that. I don't doubt it. Oh wait, are you talking about the in the jail? In the detention center? Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah, that's from a while ago. That's from, like, I think a couple of years ago. Yeah, I've seen that. That's unfortunately, that is just a regular thing in Israel. That's what the IDF does. It's not the only case. Like, there have been multiple. Like that case is unique because there's a video of it, but there have been tons of reports of people being raped by members of the IDF. You know, that is just, like, what the IDF does, okay? It's full of a bunch of rabid fascists. I'm not trying to, like, downplay it, okay? I think I kind of am doing that a little bit. My bad. But, like, you know, the IDF is a terrorist organization, and, you know, they also do rape people. They do that. Oh, it was recent? Okay. Okay, unfortunately, I didn't hear about it. You know, I will cover that. I'll take a look. I'll look into it. Here, hold on.
I literally don't know what the fuck he just said. No, I don't know what the fuck he just said.
Because you weren't listening.
What?
You said you were listening.
He could have just said practice empathy. What? Like how different is that from practice empathy?
It's a little different. Not
like,
that much different.
All he said was practice empathy. Practice active listening. That's it. That isn't an actual tip.
Yeah.
Okay, here, I'll give an actual tip. Okay?
Okay.
And this is
Life hack.
Destiny himself have said as well, okay? So fuck it. When someone says, hey, in this situation, I feel really fucked up about it, okay? And I don't feel well about it. However, from your point of view, you can say, well, okay, so you're saying that from your point of view, you feel this way about it because this situation X happened, and situation Y has also happened, right? In both of these scenarios, notice how now you're practicing active listening because you're repeating the words back to them. You're steel manning their point of view, right? You're steel manning their point of view so then you can actually practice productive conversations, okay? In that case, then you are 100% ahead of all social situations, okay? That is, listen, that's just better than just simply saying practice empathy, okay? I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. All right, whatever. Yeah, hold on. Opinion, we don't know. We don't care. Idiot plot.
The NewsHour has learned that the United States is holding back weapons that the Biden administration and the last Congress marked for Ukraine. This comes as Russia has.
Can you look into this and who to blame? Huh?
Yo, they got that was.
That's him. That's 100% him.
I'll take that as a no.
Yeah, we're watching it now.
Okay, sorry, I stopped paying attention to that for a second. So, for whatever reason, that's pretty crazy. I mean, it was in Cyprus. 5 Israeli men were acquitted of all charges on Monday at a Cyprus court over the alleged gang rape of a 20-year-old British woman. That was back in March. But yeah, there is literally, I'll send you this, there is a whole Wikipedia article about this. Yup.
So the initial corner.
Gotta fight fire with fire. Eye for an eye.
That's him.
Until we're all good and blind.
That is a no.
My man.
We're watching it now. So the initial corner.
I think it's. I'm not sure. Not sure. I can't say.
Has made territorial gains in Ukraine in recent days and blasted the country with unrelenting drone and missile attacks. Nick Schifrin is here now with more. So Nick, tell us what you've learned about these weapons that were scheduled to go to Ukraine.
The Trump administration has halted weapons that Ukraine was scheduled to receive that, as you said, Amna, were appropriated by last term's Congress and authorized by the Biden administration. The list includes these weapons: Patriot air defense missiles, 155mm artillery rounds, Gimler missiles, those are fired by a multiple launch rocket system, surface-to-air Stinger missiles, and missiles fired by jets, known as AIM-7 and Hellfire missiles. Tonight, Deputy White House Press Secretary Anna Kelly tells me, quote, "This decision was made to put America's interests first following the Department of Defense review of our nation's military support and assistance to other countries across the globe. The strength of the United States Armed Forces."
This is almost just more Putin Russia puppet shit for Trump, 100%. It's just absolutely disgusting. Look how Trump helped Russia enter Ukraine on his first term. Just post a video and stream suggestions, okay? But yeah, like Jesus Christ. Yeah, like fuck. I mean, this is as we have suspected, right?
Crossov.
Blatant treachery.
Crossov.
Like actual blatant treachery.
Crossnova.
But, you know, no supply lines, you lose. Less than 4 million soldiers, you lose. Mountains, also lose. Oil fields, believe it or not, also lose. Air supremacy, you lose right away. What I believe to be the most simplistic for Republican success, someone who's social, agreeable person. Okay, I'm not sorry. There's too much to read.
There's overwhelming pressure. Your enemy is the Democratic Party, not the Republicans, okay? Because the Republicans can't be fought until we take over the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party, as it exists right now, is completely incapable of and unwilling to do anything about the Republicans, and lefties on their own have no power whatsoever against any...
I disagree with Vosh on a lot of things, for the record, but, yeah, I mean, he's right about that. He's right about that. I just give up on humanity. Sorry, but I gotta fight fire with fire. If someone is racist, I'm gonna be racist back. If someone hurts someone close to me, then we gotta do it back. It's 2025. How is this shit not resolved? Why is it wrong to tax the wealthy, help the poor, help our vets, not be a fucking bigot? I'm done. LOL. I understand what you're expressing here. I feel that as well. However, like, when it comes to, like, somebody being racist to you, be racist back, it like, doing the same thing back to someone else is not the answer. And racism is a very good example of that. Because you being like an anti-white racist accomplishes nothing. Because anti-white racism brings no material harm to white people. It effectively does nothing. Okay, like, Like, black racism, or racism against people of color is actual, like it has material, what the fucking word am I thinking of? Like it is in the material reality. Like, it has an actual effect on people. It is because it's not fair that this person can change, but that victim who was abused by that racism have to live and remember that for the rest of their lives. Yeah, well, I think that, like, while I understand that, like, an individual act of racism can like stick with somebody for a long time, for their entire life even, I think that even if you're a person of color and you never experience an individual being racist towards you, which is unlikely in America, but even if that were the case, even if you are black in America and, like, no racism happens to you, you still live in the system, okay? You still live with our racist institutions, with our, like, there is no, like, the material harm is inevitable if you are a brown person, if you're a black person. But it's not because of it is because of individual acts of racism, but those institutions are not ever going to be racist towards white people. They are not ever going to discriminate towards white people. That's my point. That's why white racism does nothing. There's no, man, what I'm trying to tell you is, like, there's no point in being racist back to a racist because it accomplishes nothing. It does nothing. It's not going to, like, hurt their feelings or, like, make them sad because there's no material harm coming to them. They're not going to be affected by your anti-white racism. That's why it's so fucking funny to me when people, like, point to a black person that's, like, an anti-white racist, and they're like, look, they do it too. They're racist against white people. And literally every single time, it's just a person that's like, I don't like white people because I've been the victim of racism. like white people hate me and I don't, because I'm black and I don't understand why, and that's why I hate white people. If you bullied me in school and verbally and physically abused me, why do you have to get why do you get to have this future of a better man and I have to suffer? You look away. You took away my great memories in school and I have no choice but to accept it. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty heavy, man. But no, you don't have to accept it. No, you do not owe anybody forgiveness. You don't. Okay, I've said this before. Okay, I'm not gonna, like, beat you over the head with it, but, like, my religion says forgive people. Okay, I get that. It doesn't mean, though, that you have to every time. Okay, I don't always forgive people. I don't do that. I'm a person and I'm not perfect. Like, ideally we should always forgive others when they've turned a new leaf, when they've changed, when they make an apology. But no, you don't have to. You don't have to do that. And nobody really expects you to, except for maybe like the person that did it and now he's like, I've changed, I'm a different person now. Like, you have to forgive me, you know. But, like, people who have truly changed, they won't expect that from you. I don't know any religion that loves LGBT. Buddhism, Hinduism, right? Am I crazy? I don't know a whole lot about those two religions, but I'm pretty sure both of them are like, accepting of gay people, third gender people. It's mainly just the Abrahamic religions, bro. That's pretty much it. It's just Christianity, Judaism, and Islam that are, kind of homophobic. Why do you believe in God? I believe in God because I wanted to, and I met a person that was open-minded and was, like, there for me to talk, and we would talk about religion, And I don't know if I ever told you this, but I was not a believer. Like, I lost faith in the religion. And, you know, it happens. Like, people stop believing it, especially these days. It's a normal thing. And I think it's normal because of the society that we live in. We live in a very unchristian society. I say this over and over again, okay? But, like, it's true, okay? I think that's why. So, like, people see the hypocrisy in America and Christianity, and they're like, oh, like, I'm gonna, like, stay away from this, and that's understandable. Like, I get that. By the way, I didn't ask that as an insult. I was just curious. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's fair. You can always ask me that. That's a fair question to ask anyone. Why do you believe in God? I just feel as a black person, I choose not to. That's not a decade that you and I can travel to and we'll be treated equally. Or there's not a decade that you and I can travel to and we'll be treated equally. Yeah, of course. Of course. I hope for a future where that's not the case. I don't think that's because of Christianity, though. Fuck no, man. I'm sorry. I don't. I don't think that at all. It's not Christianity. I think that homophobia is somewhat rooted in Christianity because, and I was actually having a conversation about this earlier today with a person that was asking me about it, but anyway, like, homophobia in Christianity is like kind of sparse. Okay, there are like 2 passages in the New Testament, and I believe 2 passages in the Old Testament. Okay, in the Old Testament, there's some homophobia in Leviticus, and in the New Testament, it's in Romans. And it was written by Paul. And that's why you hear a lot of people that are like that are like anti-Paul. That like there are Christians out there that are like woke as fuck, and they're like, yeah, like, we hate Paul. Like, Paul was a bitch or whatever. And it's like, bro, like, dude, all of the apostles were probably homophobic. Like, let's be real. They were all like, they just didn't care. They just didn't care enough to write it down. Okay, it wasn't a big enough deal to them. Paul was just like a little extra homophobic. Okay, that's it. That's it. But even he, like, out of all the shit that he wrote like 2 little paragraphs about homosexuality. My main issue is, why is it always LGBT as the big topic? I struggle with rent and bills, groceries, having a decent wage and with a job isn't working me to death, but sure, let's focus on LGBT. I don't give a shit what 2 consenting adults do with each other. Yeah, it's made a big deal. Again, I've talked about this before. I believe that the capitalists have, they have inserted their own leaders into churches, conservative leaders, and they focus on the LGBT, the abortion. They hammer it down. Okay, that's how it is. Okay, and it gets instilled into people's consciousness. And they just, like, they go out there. I mean, I don't know. I'm using, like, words like that. But, like, literally, it's just, like, man at the podium is saying abortion bad, so, you know, they go and repeat that. And then they elect representatives that repeat that, and then those representatives pass legislation. And, you know, it's the same story with LGBT. Okay, that's how it is. But anyway, the history of homophobia in the Bible is interesting because if you look at the story and, like, what was happening back then at the time, you'll notice that Jesus was highly critical of the class hierarchy of Roman society. And one thing that you might not know about Roman society is they loved their boy wives, okay? They especially loved boy wives, but they were also tolerant of, like, masculine and masculine relationships and feminine relationships, you know, like 2 feminine women, 2 masculine men. They were tolerant of those, but only in certain classes, only in the upper classes. So that was tolerated, and I think that Christians saw that, and they, first of all, they were persecuted by the Romans, and they were highly critical of the hierarchical system of Roman society at the time. And I think that's where the homophobia came from. Okay, I think it was a product of its time and the counterculture, which was Christianity versus the Romans. That's it. I'm tired, man. I don't want to age and be more stressed. I might as well not think about life in the future. I'd like to live up to 55. Yeah, I mean, it's all downhill after 22. That's what they say. That's what they say. But I don't know. I don't know. Life is good. Okay, even in these terrible times, our species is remarkably resilient. And I am shocked and awed by the cruelty of our people, of Americans. But I'm also amazed at the resilience of disenfranchised and oppressed people. But these people who are so anti-gay are usually outed with some scandal. Hell, some of them are gay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that a lot of them, okay, look, man, a lot of them aren't gay. A lot of the homophobes are straight and they're like homophobic. Okay, they just are. But yeah, a lot of them are gay, and that's because humans just and like, you know, other mammals as well, they be gay. Okay, like God, he made like he made some animals not as gay as others. Like there are some species that aren't that gay, but like by and large, most species do have like a certain percentage of like gay. Well, I mean, they all. What I'm saying is, pretty much every species engages in homosexual activity. Very few of them don't. Most species don't mate for life like humans, but yeah, they still like be doing gay stuff. Okay, that's it. I personally think Joel Osteen is gay. There's no telling. I don't know. I guess he is kind of, I get it. He's like, you know, he's like pretty clean shaven. He's like, you know, he's got like boy vibes. That's just like classic like trad aesthetic, clean shaven. I don't know why men started doing that. I don't get it. I don't get the clean shave thing. I don't get it. It's not like super Christian anyway. It's not like not Christian, okay? It's certainly not like Jewish people wouldn't do that. I don't believe. I don't think you're supposed to like trim your beard. It depends on your sect of Judaism, I believe. But anyways, there's nothing about that with like Christians, and yeah. I see why I'm a whore. Being a hoe releases dopamine and you feel good. It's my drug unless I try Valium. Do not try Valium. Do not do that. Do not do that. Dopamine is maybe not what you think it is. Dopamine is a chemical released with the expectation of pleasure. But the actual chemical that like causes that feeling is, I believe it's serotonin. And you can get it from things like working out. You can, and also when you work out, you get endorphins too. So you should just do that, bro. You should just do that. Just one time, yes, I love that feeling. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, survival instinct. Being a hoe is nicer. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I don't judge anybody's life choices, especially these days. Like, I feel like obviously Jesus, he hung out with prostitutes, he hung out with sex workers, but it made sense to like discourage sex work back then because there was no science, there wasn't any medicine, there was no like preventative like contraceptives, there were no contraceptives, there was no like way to prevent STDs. So abstinence made more sense back then. Nowadays, you know, it doesn't really matter. Just be careful. Protect yourself. I trust that you know how to do that, and I'm not going to explain it, but yeah. Sex work, you can't judge. You can't judge. You had a horrid past because sex workers are nice. Oh, I can judge. Okay, I can. Oh, and I do. I do. They say only God can judge. That's true in the end. Okay, but while we're here, I'm gonna be judging. Okay, and yeah, like I've not always been the person I am now. I'm not going to stop working on myself. I'm gonna keep changing, I'm sure. But yeah, I mean, back then I was a pretty terrible person, and I don't shy away from that. I've been living with a virus for 4 years. Oh man, I'm sorry. You never told me that. Oh, the virus is love. Okay, why'd that start 4 years ago? Interesting. Anyway, back to the video, man.
Any of the
that went
national
way off
legislative
topic.
agenda,
Way off topic.
Items that Republicans are fielding. You know, they have none. They have none. We have no ability to change what Trump is doing at all. I'm not saying you shouldn't shit on Republicans. Please do so forever, all the time. It's not about not criticizing them. But when it comes to fighting over the future of the country, the soul of the country, you're not doing that shit without some kind of like real political power base. And Mamdani needs all the help he can get, okay? In a political...
You see what I mean? This actually is a really good extension to the thing that I said last week, where I was like, be careful for the socialists and the commies that show up and they start spamming that, vote blue no matter who, that's what you guys said, right? They'll use that against you. You should vote for Mamdani in the general, because we would support a left candidate over, especially a fucking MAGA one. But when these guys are screeching that at you, they're doing it facetiously, because they would never vote for Cuomo or the establishment candidate in an election. But then to piggyback on that, like, he's even more...
Yeah, well, fuck it. Fuck vote blue no matter who. Fuck that. I swear to you, I didn't even really fall for that shit back then, okay? But, like, I will never fall for it again. Never. 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 Fuck that. Fuck vote blue, no matter who. Fuck you if you say that. Just, like, shut up. Just shut up, okay? It don't matter anymore. It don't matter. The Democrats, they do the same thing. I've been saying this. I say this, I feel like I haven't said this it's been too long, okay? But I'm going to say it again. We don't live in a two-party system. We live with the illusion of two parties. We live in a one-party system. One party, okay? And it's the American party. Republicans and Democrats, they are the same. They do the exact same things when they get into office. They line their pockets. They make their friends rich. They do tax cuts for the rich. That's it. That's it. When you vote Democrat, when a Democrat gets elected, they will sometimes, it's not even guaranteed, okay, but they will sometimes sprinkle some breadcrumbs at the working class. They'll say, here you go, peasants. That's it. That is the best you're getting with them. Not unless the party changes significantly. Now, if it does, if it changes, if there is real change within the party, if we get more Zorons, if we get more Bernies, if we get more AOCs, I will say vote blue. I will say it again. But for now, nah, and that probably won't happen. You probably won't see me saying that, certainly during the next primary, but not even during the next general election. The fuck? We can't keep falling for it. We just can't, all right? There's 30 seconds
we
left.
need to take over the Democratic Party. And it's like, dog, most of the people don't give a fuck about your shit. They don't like socialism. They don't like this weird shit. This is going to be the whitest, youngest, most mono-represented party in the history of the United States. It wouldn't even survive, obviously. There's a reason why.
Destiny is so out of touch. I can't believe he would try to say that socialism is not popular. Like, yeah, if you call it socialism, you're gonna have some, like, right-wing freaks be like, oh, that's communism. That's communism right there, Skeeter. Yeah, let's get in my Ford. Let's ride, brother. Okay, but, like, they're gonna do that, okay? However, if you just describe socialist policy to the average American, it is so popular. It is so popular. If the Democratic Party ran on socialism, and whether they call it socialism or not, I could give a fuck. It would be so popular. I think even if they call it socialism, it'd be popular. Okay, it would. Because the policies are good. The agenda is solid. lower housing costs, cheaper groceries, better public transport, and yes, democratically organized workplaces, of course. That is what people want. That is popular. The DNC doesn't seem very interested in doing that. Okay, but you have a guy like Zoran Mamdani, and he ran as a Democrat, and when he ran on socialism, he suddenly like like fucking wiped the floor with the competition. It must be because he's so unpopular. That's why he won. That's why he won so fucking hard, because of how unpopular he is.
Their candidates basically
yeah,
lose
man.
everywhere. This is the first guy.
Yeah, Destiny.
They're all so fucking excited. This is like the first fucking candidate they've got. They all want to kind of like rally behind.
Cool. Cool. All right, cool. We're done. Awesome. Okay, is there anything else, guys? If not, then...
Great commentary by Food Shops. Great commentary. I think that was around the end of her stream, so she just like didn't really have that much to say there. But, you know, oh well. Slopaganda.